Hyundai has just made a big announcement. It's confirmed that it will make its EVs in the future using gigacasting. It's calling it hypercasting. Doesn't really want to admit that it's basically ordering gigacasting machines from Tesla's supplier in order to mass produce EVs at a profit and at scale. It basically has admitted this is necessary. What does this mean for all the other automakers that don't plan on doing this? Well, I think the answer to that question is abundantly clear. Hyundai have said as much. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. It's great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. Thank you for subscribing. Great to have you. Welcome to all the new subscribers. And I've got to say a big thank you to our Patreon supporters. Of course, our YouTube members. If you'd like to be a YouTube member, you do get to see some of our videos in advance. And also, I really appreciate every single one of you for just supporting the channel. Hyundai wants to build cars the same way that Tesla is. Toyota and Sandy Munro are not the only two people, groups, companies that have torn down a Tesla. I mean, I think by now most car companies have seen Sandy Munro's videos. Well, if they haven't, then they're crazy, showing the difference in how Tesla manufactures its vehicles versus how Legacy Auto are doing it. Now, Chinese car companies are starting to adopt some of Tesla's principles. For example, BYD uses structural battery packs. In fact, a number of different Chinese automakers use structural battery packs. That's becoming common in the industry in China now. Gigacastings, NIO has started using those, so have other companies as well. So basically the Chinese said, yep, great idea Tesla, we want to do something similar. Legacy Auto said, no, you're Tesla, you're the little guy, and we don't see a reason to change. Until they realize that it's very hard to make money on EVs. That will change in the future, but today that is the case. Hyundai, therefore, have begun to, they've made a decision to implement an innovative production tool that Tesla use to speed up production, make their cars lighter, more structurally rigid, make them more affordable to manufacture, and also give them just a significant advantage over the competition. Korea's media have reported that Hyundai will use a similar production method to Tesla's gigacasting in its own production plants in only a few years from now. After conducting an internal review, Car Expert says that this review is focused on future growth. The company reportedly aims to drive investment in EVs. Apparently, it's also going to transform its factories in Korea, producing combustion-powered vehicles into core manufacturing bases for future vehicles. What are those future vehicles? Well, I mean, they're having to kind of walk a fine line here because the South Korean government feels like Hyundai and Kia have taken a lot of money from the government to invest in hydrogen. So they want to keep saying they're going to keep making hydrogen-powered vehicles. I'm not sure they're really fully committed to them, but that's what they've said. New production facilities will be focused on electric cars and hydrogen-powered cars. What are your thoughts on that? Is that a good strategy? Let me know what you think. Part of this directive, Hyundai plan on using what they're calling hypercasting, which is just a fancy word for Tesla's gigacast, to increase production efficiency and speed, lower production costs, and importantly, for electric cars, lower the weight of the car. Now, would this mean, therefore, that they'll be using structural battery packs as well, not just gigacasting? I'd say it's very likely. It's worth pointing out as well that Tesla, we've just found out within the last 24 hours, have actually had a breakthrough. Now, when this breakthrough happened, no one seems to really know, on their new version of gigacasting structural battery packs. It's actually mega casting. That's what I'm calling it anyway, because it's basically like making the car out of one piece instead of basically three. So, with a car right now, the Model Y has two pieces. It's got two gigacasting pieces, and then it's got the structural battery pack underneath it. Mega casting could potentially turn that into one. Now, no one really knows this. We only have inside information coming from 5 people apparently who have worked at Tesla. Tesla has lowered its production costs by 30% after it introduced its gigacasting production method in 2020. According to some insiders, we don't know if that's actually true. We do know that they make a profit on EVs and the competitors don't. And that's one of the reasons. Hyundai has benchmarked Tesla's gigacasting methods. It tore down, in fact, a Model Y in the United States. And obviously it sort of became aware that there was some big advantages here. This involves large die casting machines which stamp out larger chassis components than was previously possible, or what was previously done in the industry. But the reality is here that the machines didn't exist in the past. So Idra actually make the GigaPress machines for Tesla, and they sell them to apparently a few other Chinese companies now as well. But these machines didn't exist because they're absolutely massive. They do now though. And so therefore Hyundai is saying, well, we're probably making a loss on our EVs. We need to change that. How can we go about changing that? This is one of the ways we can do it. Rather than casting many, many small parts of a chassis, drilling thousands of holes, spot welding and bonding, gluing these pieces together, there's all kinds of riveting that goes on. There's so many jobs involved in making a car. You can basically eliminate a lot of those jobs. In fact, Tesla reduced parts from 70 down to 1 in one gigacasting piece. So imagine the efficiency costs and the speed improvements in that. Herbert Diess is CEO of Volkswagen. I believe he mostly attributes Tesla's speed to their gigacasting process. Basically saying that it takes Volkswagen 3 times as long to make an EV because they don't do this. So what can happen is the gigacast stamps out a whole chassis in one operation. Well, sort of. It stamps out 2 pieces, and then you have a structural battery pack. This could change in the future though with Tesla's Megacast, which will further increase efficiency, probably further reduce weight, and also make the cars cheaper to manufacture and faster to produce. To achieve this though, gigacasting machines actually press down on a unique kind of aluminium alloy plate, and the machine can then exert 6,000 to 9,000 tons of force to stamp out the car body. So why 6,000 to 9,000? Well, Tesla has 2 different types of GigaPress machines. The Model Y uses a 6,000 ton GigaPress. The much bigger Tesla Cybertruck is said to use a 9,000 ton GigaPress, and that one is actually the size of a house. Hyundai plans to build its own processing, casting, and assembly plant so the process can be implemented by 2026. But I think this has been misreported by the media, who have said that they're going to build these GigaPresses themselves. That won't happen. There's no way that's happening. They would simply be placing an order from Idra. The project is currently in the planning phase. Construction apparently will begin next year. Now, you may be surprised to hear this if you're one of the many people who believe that they're an engineer and the automotive industry knows better than Tesla. A lot of people still think that. Toyota, Volvo, and the entire Volkswagen Group are planning to implement similar processes. So this will be an industry-wide thing. I don't think there'll be really many manufacturers left by 2030 that aren't doing it. The ones that aren't will obviously struggle to compete with the ones that are. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching.